Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. I've seen a few of my favorite content creators do videos like this, and I think it's a really good idea to give products one more shot. I have a little group here that I want to test them out one last time and really determine if I want to keep them or if it's time for them to be simply decluttered. Now, I didn't have anything for the eyes that was kind of... I do have some eyeshadow palettes actually in my collection that I feel like I probably could maybe try out one or two more times, get some use, and then kind of determine with those. But maybe with eyeshadow palettes that could be a whole separate series. You know, if anybody would be interested in that, I don't know. So just right quick, what's on my eyes is I am wearing my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, and I'm so excited because if you've been watching some of my last couple of videos, I've mentioned that I wanted to use this every single day until I hit pan on one of the shades, and I have done it. I hit pan this morning, and I'm so excited. It's a baby pan, but I have hit pan in the shade Fair. I am so excited to finally have a pan in this palette. That just gets me, this palette wants to reflect, so it kind of, that just makes me so excited. I just now want to hit even more pans in this palette. I don't know. This is my favorite palette in my whole collection, and I feel like it's validating to hit pan in multiple shades. So I got that one down, and the next one I'd really like to work on is the shade Mesh. But what I'm wearing on my eyes here, I am wearing the shade Fair and the shade Mesh just mixed back and forth together. And then I am wearing Sheen, Mia, and then a little bit of Whisper, just tapped into three of them and then tapped that in the very center. I didn't take a lot of that at all. I was mostly wanting to use this shade so I could hit pan on it, and I did, and I would love to work on Mesh next because the shade Mesh would be my second most used shade in this palette, and I just want to hit more. Now that I've hit one, I want to hit more. I'm so excited about that. So one of the first products that I have that's kind of up for me to test is this one from e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer. This is the one with the niacinamide, and I went ahead and applied it off camera, and the reason why is because I wanted to give this a fair shot. I find that in the past, the only way I made it work for me is if I applied it and then went ahead and did my eyeshadow and then come back and it would be okay. I felt like if I got here on camera and did it, it would be time for me to apply my foundation right afterwards, and I feel like that wouldn't be me giving this a good shot. I used to really like this. The first couple of times I used it, I had no issues with it, but after a while, it started really negatively interacting with my sunscreen, and I've said before, I never want a product to interact with my sunscreen because when it comes between a primer and my favorite Sun Bum sunscreen, I'm going to pick that over anything like this. So I went ahead and applied that because I'm about to go in with the foundation, which I do have one up here that I want to try out, and I just wanted to go ahead and apply it. So we're going to see how the foundation wears over the top of it. I notice it's starting to do that weird little thing that this makes it does. I feel like foundations don't want to blend over the top of this. They just want to sit in weird places, like stick to the exact place and not blend out properly. Then this will definitely be going. I've already gotten rid of the original Power Grip Primer, but I kept this one because this one used to work for me. So we're going to see, but that brings me into the foundation. Now this is actually one of those products, kind of like the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter and then the one from Charlotte Tilbury. You can wear this on its own or kind of like a mix-in or anything. This is from Essence. This is the Magic Filter Glow Booster, and this one is in, 10 Light. This is the lightest shade they make, at least all I saw in Ulta, and it comes with like the pump. The first time I ever used this, let me zoom in. The first time I used this, it had a horrible smell, and it was brand new because I just purchased it from the store. I wish now I had taken it back. I should have done that. I have a bad habit of not wanting to return makeup products, and I don't need to do that. I need to immediately return them. That scent alone is enough to make me not want to use this, but I said I want to give it another chance. I want to try it again. Now I am going to wear it like my foundation. I don't really want to wear it as like a primer step since I knew I had a primer to test. So I am really giving this a fair shot. I'm going to go in with my sponge, and I am going to be spraying my sponge with my Charlotte Tilbury, my Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which is my favorite setting spray. I am going to be giving it a fair chance. I'm not just going to be, you know. So I'm going to just do one pump first. I'm just doing one little pump, and then I'll go in with a second coat, and I'm going to spread that out a little bit on the back of my hand like I always do. Yeah, it smells like trash. I don't know how to describe that scent to you. It's almost like, have you ever been in like a store, like a grocery store, and you walk past the area and they have the door open and you walk past the area and you smell the trash in the background, like that they have in the back that's, you know, waiting to be picked up. That's almost what this smells like. It smells like trash. I just wanted to see what it looked like on the skin one more time. I am going to go in with a second layer of it. I just wanted to apply one layer at a time. And now this is going to be too dark for me. This is the lightest shade and they don't make anything lighter than that. So this is going to be a little bit too dark for me. I don't remember this having many shades, if I'm being honest. I know it's not actually supposed to be like a foundation. I mean, you can use it that way. And that's the way I would use it. I know it's made more so for like a mix-in or, you know, even like a primer, like going in with something else over the top, but I want to wear it this way because this is how I wear the one from e.l.f. And if I had the one from Charlotte Tilbury, that's how I would also wear that one. Now I'm going to get in close just a second to my mirror that I have on my palette so I can really see how it looks over the top of that primer. If it looks okay, then I'll keep the primer. If not, the primer's going. So let me see. Let me get all this pressed in. I've sprayed my brush with some setting spray. I'm going over the top of that just to make sure it's all pressed in. It looks fine from where my mirror is at, but my mirror is a little bit further away from me, so that's why I want to get in close. I picked the wrong earrings for this. I don't know why I do that. Okay, I don't see it reacting. It looks like it's sitting on the skin fine. I'm going to go in with a second layer of it and just see. I think it is a little bit too deep for me, but it's okay. I just want to give it a fair shot. Now, normally I would stop here. So should I keep going or would this be a fair enough test? Because I wouldn't wear 2 pumps of this. So you know what? Yeah, no, let's stop there because this is the way I would wear it. So let's stop there. It looks fine. I think the shade might be what kind of keeps me from keeping it because it's just a little too dark. Like it's light. I would need like if they had a fair option. I know I could wear my tinted sunscreen and that would probably help. So I feel like my body and my face are a little bit darker than my neck. My neck for some reason is so pale. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna see how it wears today. Okay, the next thing that I want to go in with is this concealer from Refi. This is their, I don't know what they call this. What do they call it? It just says concealer. And this is the shade 2. Now, it says to shake it before use. I think it's kind of like a serum concealer. 2 things about this concealer that I don't like. The shade is too light for me, or I remember it being too light. Place some on the back of my hand. Yeah, I mean, that looks too light for me, especially me wearing this. And another thing that I noticed every time I would use this, it would look so dry on my under eyes. Even when I used a small amount of this, it just looked bad. And I hate it because I do really like Refi. I like a lot of their products, but I mean, I know that not every product is going to work for you. So I'm just going to do a teeny dot on both sides. And I'm not going to do a brush this time. I am going to do the sponge as well because I want to give it a fair shot. Not go in with a brush because I feel like a brush might make it look a little more dry. And maybe that's why it makes it look so dry. I feel like a lot of times when I use products that are too light for me, it can just make everything look so, well, dry. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I guess because it emphasizes stuff. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that brightening stuff. I am not. I don't like that at all for me. Because on me, I feel like because I'm already pretty pale, it just looks like I went outside with sunglasses on. So I am going to add a little bit more, but like in this area to kind of, so it's not just like a semicircle. It's not so bad with the sponge. The sponge does tone it down, but I'm going to add just a teeny dot further down, like right here on both sides. Just to add a little bit of that brightness there so it's not just right under my eye. And then I'm going to come in and just a little bit closer to my little mirror here again, and once I have it all blended out, and really see how it's laying over the top of that primer. Because, you know, I want products in my collection that I know I love and work for me. I don't want to have to really, you know, sometimes you just don't want to work that hard to make a product work for you. You know, I mean, it should work for you automatically without you having to do something to make it work. Okay, yeah, it's not sitting right over the top of either that essence or that primer. It's not wanting to sit. It looks like it's wanting to kind of almost pill up on the top part, like right here on my cheek. Yeah, it's just sitting. Let me see if I can get in closer for you to see what I'm seeing. Okay, I don't know if you will or not. I'm gonna hold my mirror up. See, I'm gonna see if I can show you. Now, can you kind of, I don't know if my camera might not show it. I don't know if that's gonna show it or not. It's like it's sitting right on top. Like, you might can see where I'm peeling it away a little bit. And it's doing the same thing on this side too. So, you know what? This is going. That happens too much, because this is not the first time this has happened with either a foundation or concealer, and it's always this primer. I'm always wearing this primer when this happens. I don't have any other primer in my collection that causes products to do that. This is going. Now, I want to see how these two wear. I'm not, I want to try them again with maybe some other primers as well. But that primer, I can already say right now, that primer is going. There is just no need. And then I can add that to the list of things that I don't want to purchase. No gripping primers. They look bad on me. They don't work for me. I like more of hydrating primers anyway that feel like extra moisturizers or something, or like my Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. That's my favorite one, and I've never had issues with that one. So if you want a good one from e.l.f., I love that one. That one right there, those power gripping primers are just not for me. And I know they're supposed to be duping the Milk one. I had the same issue with that one as well. When I tried I got like a little deluxe sample with points. I was at Sephora, and I got the little Milk, I don't know what's theirs called, Hydro Grip? I'm not sure. I tried theirs too, and it did the same thing. Like, products would just sit weird over the top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter that primer. I wear these all day and really see how they apply. I might continue to give them some more chances, especially the concealer. Now, the essence, I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. I have my e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter, and I like that way better, so I might actually end up decluttering this as well. I'm going to hold on for now to the concealer and just try it out, keep trying it. I might include this again in an everyday makeup drawer so I can really be fair with it. I know I've included it before, but it was one that I didn't use as much because I had another one in there that I was using over this, but I don't think it looks bad right now. It doesn't look as drying as I remember, so I might keep this one. I think I actually might go ahead and get rid of this too from Essence. I don't smell it on my face, and when I've used it before, I didn't have like a reaction to it or anything. I don't know what the scent is. I'm not saying that it's gone bad because it applies fine. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the decision now. I'd rather have my e.l.f. Halo Glow than this one. I think that one's better, so I'm gonna go ahead and part with that one. And I'm gonna keep the Refi for now. Okay, the next two products. Now, this is where I want to do a comparison. I have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer and then the Luminous Putty Bronzer. The Putty one is in Tan Lines, and the Luminous one is in Summer Fridays. Now, I always felt like I preferred the original over the Luminous, but I want to put them side by side because I don't need to keep both. I feel like, if I prefer one over the other, then the other one should just go. So I'm going to try both of them. And I do have a lot more use out of the original. I will show you what I mean. I'm hoping you can kind of see. I have more. It's probably hard to show you in these little pots, but I have a bigger dip in the regular than the Luminous. It's just a little bit of a bigger dip. I'm going to apply the original on this side and then the Luminous over here. And one thing, and I'm going to use my Refi brush, by the way. And one thing that I will say, my base products, I love glowy foundations and stuff, so I don't feel like I really need a bronzer to be luminous. But I couldn't decide. I said I needed to kind of make up my mind to see which one of them I wanted to keep, because I don't really feel like I should keep both. I feel like, keep one or the other, but not both. Because see, I feel like even though this one doesn't have like that luminosity to it on its own, it still has a glow to it because of the base products underneath. I keep just building it up a little bit on this brush just because I want to. One thing that I love about this shade is I find that it's kind of hard to go overboard with it. At least using this brush. Of course, I just go back over that with my sponge. I always do this no matter what. Sometimes I don't include it on camera, sometimes I do, but I always do that. Okay, and then I'm really going to wipe that off on my little silicone mat here because I want to use the same brush, but I don't have two of these, which I would love to pick up another one because this is my favorite brush. All right, now we're going to go in with the luminous one. Feels kind of dry out. Oops. See some getting on the brush. It just feels kind of, yeah, there we go. Do they look different? I feel like in person, this side looks more red. Like a red undertone, maybe? I don't know if am I seeing things? This side looks more warm toned than this side. This side looks more of like a neutral. And then I feel like that side looks warmer. Can let's see, am I able to get my finger in there to do a swatch? Because I do have nails. I'm going to swatch them side by side and just see here. Okay, that's the luminous and that's the original. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera. They look the same on camera. But in person, the luminous one, they're both warm tone, but the luminous one looks more warm in that swatch. Like almost has more of an oranginess to it than the other one. And the luminous one doesn't feel as like creamy still. Like it feels almost dried out versus the regular one still feels like I just purchased it. And I've had both of these in my collection for a very long time. Yeah, I'm going to part with the luminous and I'm going to keep just the original putty. I like that one better. I feel like it applied better. I don't know. This one looks more red. To me, I don't think it's going to come across on camera. I don't know. But this side just feels more red. So yeah, I'm going to keep the original putty and I'm going to get rid of the luminous. Now, the highlighter that I have in question is a powder. Is that a powder? I guess this is a powder. Is this a powder? Are these from Rare Beauty powders or are they kind of like a cream powder? Okay, you know what? No, let me apply that first just in case because I don't want to set my face and then not give it a fair shot. Now, I have made it very clear I don't like highlighters. I just don't have a connection to them because I like for my base products to have the glow like my foundations or something. I don't really want to add an extra thing on top. And unlike glowy foundations, at least on myself personally, I don't feel like they add, you know, texture or they enhance things that I don't want them to, whereas highlighters do. And the highlighter in question is this one from Rare Beauty. This one's in the shade Mesmerize. First of all, this shade was not right for me in the first place, but I believe this is the one that I have the liquid in, and it's like a pink. You can see just how bright that is. I'm just not a highlighter person, and I wanted to try this again. I guess it's supposed to be more like a powder, but I don't know. I'll apply it first and then set my face, but I'm just going to take that on this little fluffy, like Betsy Johnson brush. This is what I used to use all the time for highlighter. You can't get this brush, unfortunately, anymore, but I mean, any highlighter brush will do. I actually was going to be including the blush like this, like the blushes that come in the same compact in this video instead of this. However, that blush decided it wanted to leave my collection on its own. It slipped out of my hand, hit my floor, and shattered everywhere. So you know what? That answered my question. Apparently I really didn't need it in my collection. I didn't really like it anyway. I don't know. I didn't really like these. So I guess I shouldn't have bought the blush in the first place, but I just wanted to try it out because, you know, but that one made up its mind for me. It shattered all over my floor. So let's give this a shot. I'm just going to dip one time into that because these are incredibly pigmented. I feel like I'm probably going to pass on this because I know I'm not going to wear it. And I have a friend of mine who would wear it, and I think I'm going to let her use this. I think she would love this. It's very pretty. You can see, like, both sides of my face are very glowy, but you can just see how much more intense that is. It's pretty. It's not my vibe. There's nothing wrong with it, and if I was into highlighter, this wouldn't have been the shade. I shouldn't have gotten this shade, but I like the pinky tint because I was thinking more like I'm going to wear it underneath a blush. But I would have gotten the lightest shade. I don't know what the lightest shade is called, but I don't want highlighters. But just for the sake of this video, I am going to apply it, and I'm going to put a powder blush over the top of it, but yeah, it's not for me. It's just not. I'm just going to kind of blend that out a little bit. Honestly, with the tint that it gives me, My face looks red. Honestly, with the tint that it gives me, it could probably be a blush on its own. But I am going to put a blush over the top of it. So we are going to let this one go too. This is just going to... I already know now, I will not be purchasing highlighters. Not individually. Now, if I ever purchase like a face palette or something like from Hourglass where they just happen to be in the palette, well, there's nothing I can really do about that, but I will not be buying single highlighters, like, you know, individual highlighters. I just don't like them. So, we're going to be passing this on too. Alright, and just right quick, I'm going to go ahead and set my face with my Tarte powder. I'm just going to use that again. This is in my everyday makeup drawer, so I'm just trying to get as much use out of it as possible for this month. Press that in. I also have to finish my lower lash line as well. I haven't done that yet. And my brows. I haven't done anything like that yet. But my brows, I do have a brow product here that I might be getting rid of too, because it's just not the right shade for me. It's way too warm, but I'm going to give it another chance. And it's both a pencil and a gel. It has the gel on the other side. But I need to set my face first because I like to put a little bit of powder in my brows because I don't want them to be like shiny. Okay, I'm just going to go in with my Milani Rose Powder Blush. This is in Romantic Rose. This is my favorite blush of all time. It's just a really soft, delicate blush. There is nothing intense about it whatsoever. But that's what I love about it. It goes with any look because I feel like it's... Now on me it does pull more on the warm side, but I feel like it's still neutral enough that it would go with any eye look, any kind of makeup that you want. Now I will say that I don't know how... I guess my eyes being fairly neutral okay because I am about to go in with a... After I do my brows, I have a lip liner that I'm going to be testing out that the shade's a little bit more... I guess bolder would be the right word, and it's the only product really in my collection lip product wise that I'm kind of on the fence about. The rest of the stuff in my collection I'm fine with because most of them are on the neutral side, or there's something that I can kind of easily tone them down, like with a lipstick I can take a brush and then just kind of blot that on my lips. See, a lip liner, I feel like it's harder to do that. Okay, so the brow pencil is from Revolution. This is their Laminate Brow, and it's in the shade Dark Brown. Now, the last time I actually used the pencil, it was so warm toned on me, and I have very cool tone brows. So I'm going to give it another chance. We'll see. Maybe I was wrong about it and I can make it work. I don't know yet. We'll see. Alright, let's try this out. Yeah, it's very warm toned. Can you see that? How right there where I applied it? It's so warm toned. That's definitely... Nope, we're going to be parting with this one for sure. I just don't know how they got dark brown out of that. Because at least in my brows, it almost looks like a dark auburn shade. Wait, you can see it. Just how warm it is. And then on the other side, there's a gel, which this gel does nothing. I've tried using the gel a lot. Like, I've included this in my everyday makeup drawer just for the gel side to get as much use out of it as possible. I just feel like this gel does nothing for me. So, yep, this is another product that is going because that's just not for me. Alright, the last product that is kind of up for me to use here is from LA Colors. This is their gel lip liner. This one is in the shade Melon. Now, I think... Ooh, it feels real dried out. Oh, goodness. Feels kind of dried out. So that might really answer my question right there. I think it's a pretty shade, especially for like summertime, because it's such a bright shade, but I never wear shades like that. They're not for me, and it definitely feels dried out. But I'm going to place it on because I'm going to give it a fair shot if I can get it on my lips. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's wanting to crumble. My gosh. Ew, it's so crumbly. This is the driest lip liner. It don't even want to glide across. No, I'm taking that off immediately. It is so dried out. So, no. Look at that. Ew! Let me get that off right quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so that pencil left a little bit of a stain. How old is that pencil exactly in my collection? That must have been from the very beginning because it is so dried out. I feel like I was running sandpaper over my lips. That was so bad. So I had 8 products in total that were kind of up here for me to test out again, and I am keeping 2 of them and decluttering 6. I'm going to keep continuing to give the Refi Concealer a chance because I feel like it looks pretty good today. It messed up out here, but I know that was the fault of that primer because everything does that over that primer. I can't get it to work for me anymore. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to keep trying. It's annoying. I shouldn't have to work that hard to make a primer work for me. So I'm going to keep the Refi primer, and I am going to keep the original putty bronzer from e.l.f. I think that that side definitely looks a little better. This side looks a little too warm. This side actually looks more on the neutral on me, like once it's actually applied. And I like that better. And the luminous side felt really dried out. So I'm going to be keeping these 2. Of course, all the products that are going are the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, the Niacinamide, the Essence Magic Filter Glow Booster, the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer, the Rare Beauty Silky Touch Highlighter, the Revolution Brow Pencil, and this horrible lip liner that has got to be like 10 years old from that I just experienced. So those are all of the products that are going to be going out of my collection, and I feel better knowing they are. I still feel like I'm not giving this enough of a chance, but then I feel like I know for a fact I like my e.l.f. one better, so why keep this one when I just purchased this like over the summer, I believe. Like it wasn't long, and I know I can go ahead and give this to like a friend of mine now before it, you know, it goes bad. Well, I mean, she can be the judge of the scent, because I don't smell it on my face. I don't know what that scent is. I don't know. It smells like trash, but I don't know. But I'll let her decide if she wants it or not. And this as well. I mean, you know, these products, I'll let her decide on any of these if she wants them or not. The brow product and the lip liner, absolutely not. But these other products, she would really get some good use out of. I know she can definitely with these 2 and that highlighter. Now, I don't know about the bronzer. I'll leave that up to her. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads. Follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. I will have all these products listed and linked for you below. I'll link the products that I'm not keeping. Just because they don't work for me doesn't mean that they don't work for someone else. So I will be listing everything for you below in case someone else is interested in them. They are affiliate links, so if you click through and purchase, I do earn a small commission, and if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!